What is it you want?
Who are you?
You first. Come on. Who are you? There is something that is familiar about you, but I can't quite place it. No matter, I suppose. All people are welcome in Abessa, as long as they are prepared to forget their past. Even elves are allowed in here. I think elves would be perfect people if they weren't so emotionless. But then, that is why they are the only faction I have never belonged to.
What do you mean? You mean you want to become an alb?
That's a long story. If you're really interested in my tale, then I will tell you, of course.
A traitor to many causes, or a heroine to all. We should see what she has to say.
As you wish.
Tell me your story. How did you end up joining the clerics?
Right, I'll give you the full version. Well, the short version of the full version.
Just get on with it.
Okay, I'll try to keep it short. So, I grew up in Goliath in Edan. My father and mother were both born berserkers, and so that meant I was too. Back then, Bajar ruled over Goliath. As a child, I had no interest in the laws, of course. But when I was about 12 years old, one of the warlords came to our home. He took my parents, and I was left on my own to survive in the city. I remember him. I remember my parents leaving. And I remember me screaming. But everything else is gone. It's just a blur.
What happened to your parents?
Well, what else? They were exiled. Nobody ever told me why they were exiled. I still don't know what they did, even today. I hate the Berserker laws. Nothing against the Berserkers. They're just people. It's the laws I hate. I think what the Berserkers want to do with Magalan is right. But I can never forgive them for what they did to my parents. Why was I punished for whatever my parents did? Why wasn't I told what had happened? I swore never to return, and I haven't set foot in Edan again.
Where did you go?
Wherever I needed to survive. That meant running from reavers and wild animals. It didn't take long for some reavers to take me captive. And then, I don't want to talk about that. I was lucky, though. After several years, the reavers were attacked by some of the Duke's outlaws, and they took me back to Tavar. I learned how to fight, how to live off scrap. Life wasn't much different from Edan, but there wasn't the same raptor shit. The laws. You could be who you were, and no one judged you.
Then why didn't you remain with the outlaws?
Because the reavers who'd taken me captive came to the fort and wanted to speak to the Duke. I think they wanted to take me back. I fled when they saw me. I didn't want to be taken back, or for them to kill me to hide their crime. When I left the fort, I ran into a cleric patrol. They convinced me to go to the Hort with them. Not that I really needed that much convincing. All those hours taking scrap apart and putting it back together in Tavar really paid off there. The clerics recognized that I was good with technology. So, I've been working on mechs and AI systems since then. Building things. Trusted. Part of a team. And it's easier being with mechs. They don't judge anyone. They treat everyone the same. Like this place. I know it's not perfect. But outlaws, berserkers, clerics, even elves are seen as people. At least that's the vision. Not always the way it happens. That's another reason to maintain these mechs. To protect what we have here. Well, I hope you find your place in the world. It's good when you do.
What are you doing here in Abessa?
I take care of the mechs and drones here in the city, which means I coordinate and plan their maintenance and upgrades. When I'm lucky, I get to roll up my sleeves and do some of the actual maintenance, which I'm having to do quite a lot with all the technicians we're missing. Say, are you good with technology?
I know the basics.
Unfortunately, that wouldn't be enough, I'm afraid. We don't really have time to train people on the job. Not if they're not going to stay here for good, and you don't look the type for that. On the other hand, if you're looking for some part-time work, I could still use your help. I have 4 people I've been told I should look at for taking the technician's job, but I don't have time to gauge their abilities. Would that be something you could do for me? I'd pay you.
Yeah, I'll talk to your candidates.
Great. The 4 names I have are Daryl, Naira, Rorik, and Riley. Though I'm really not sure about Riley. There's something about him I don't trust. But speak to each of them and let me know whether you think they might have the right skills and abilities for the job. Oh, and I'll need you to let me know about their loyalties. You know, can they work with clerics? Do they hate us? We'd be trusting them with the mechs and AI that defend the Dome City. So I don't want to employ anyone who might still be thinking about their faction, not our security.
About the candidates for technician,
Yes?
tell me about Naira.
Naira is an Alb separatist, so a bit of a long shot for loyalty. But she should have the technical ability we need. She's somewhere in the west of the city with the other separatists, in the slums.
You want to employ a separatist as a technician?
We need someone, and I don't think your faction always says who you are. Albs are usually very good with technology, but you're right. I don't know if we can trust her.
Tell me about Daryl.
Daryl is an outlaw. He's applied to be a technician, but I don't know why. So I want to know his motives and what his technical experience is. I'm hoping you can get that information. If he's skilled and trustworthy, then employing him might show that we do trust outlaws here. But I don't know that much about him. I don't even know where to find him.
What do you know about Rorik?
Rorik is a berserker. I think I last saw him somewhere around Vito's pub. It might seem weird to consider a berserker, but I was one once. And I know Rorik used to work extracting ELEX from machines in Goliath, so he knows about technology. And I think I could teach him everything else that he needs to know. And it would show that we were reaching out to the berserkers who have come to the Dome City. Their magic is very powerful, and they're strong warriors. We will need their help if the Albs attack us from Zakor. But it'll be important to find out if he's prepared to have anything to do with technology before we think of offering him the job. May Kalan guide your way. Did I invite you?
You should think about leaving. Who's prowling around out there? I'm watching you. You should think about leaving. I'm watching you. Did someone tell you you could come in here?
Hey, you.
Let me guess. I'm not allowed into the upper quarter?
What? No, everyone's allowed to move about freely here. I just have a question for you. You got here recently, right? I just want to know what things are like outside the dome. What's going on out there? Are the Albs attacking?
There are raids, but there have been no major assaults recently.
I'm sure that's just the calm before the storm. I just hope the dome holds. There's a lot of people depending on this dome of mine, so they pass us by like a river around a rock. Kalan gave us the knowledge, and now look what we've achieved. A safe harbor for all people. The clerics and Ignidons say we've strayed. I say we've found the true path.
You built the dome?
I designed the plans for it. Then we built it together. My name is Eric, by the way. Chief engineer here in the dome. I'm in charge of all the generators and technicians who oversee them.
Why don't the clerics have a dome like this in Ignidon?
The dome requires immense amounts of energy, and the fluctuations in it have to be constantly balanced. The technology is complex. That means there's no way to cover the Hort with a shield like this. Besides, the cliffs around Hort give it a natural protection.
Can this dome survive an Alb attack?
Of course. Why do you think we built it? As long as we can maintain a constant energy flow, then they can't get in. Unfortunately, achieving that isn't so easy. Some of the energy regulators are starting to malfunction again.
Malfunctioning energy regulators sound dangerous.
Of course they are. Outside of frying yourself if you try to adjust them. If we were attacked right now, the whole dome would go critical.
About the broken energy regulators. What will happen if they aren't repaired?
If just one regulator fails, it could mean an emergency shutdown for the dome. Otherwise, the discharge it would create could kill a whole lot of the people the shield is supposed to be protecting. But whether it's a discharge or an emergency shutdown, both scenarios would see us defenseless.
How many energy regulators are broken?
Well, all of them. I've sorted replacements where I can. But Lutz hasn't received his yet.
I will help you with the energy regulators.
I wanted to do it myself, but do you really think you could handle it? So, let's find out who you are. You should go to Ignadon one day. You could be a good cleric. Yeah, I know I left Ignadon behind, but they could offer you better training than I could. I have the energy regulator here. Please, take it to Lutz and help him to install it. Come back to me when you're done. The dome is a gift from Kalan. Never forget that. The dome is a...
crazy? Or is our generator power fluctuating?
The B-series was never very reliable, you know that.
Ah, then why are we still working with that piece of crap? Parts, repairs...
I think you can just leave it like that.
And you just
May
realized
Kalan guide your way.
That's it. I'm going.
You've got to sit down and ask, what am I doing?
I'm leaving.
never gonna win fighting that way.
Get the hell out of here. If you don't leave now, there'll be trouble. You asked for it. Don't do that again. There is a place of refuge waiting for all in the Hort in Ignadon. Stay pure of chems.
Just a moment, I have to concentrate. 43 degrees eastwards at a distance of 5 kilometers. Maybe I could adjust the receiver's sensitivity to... No. Although,
Should I come back later?
No. I've already lost my train of thought. I suppose I will have to just get used to continuous interruptions here. But crap. I don't suppose you can remember what I said. How many degrees was it?
43 degrees eastwards.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Thank you for reminding me.
I assume you are in charge of communications?
You aren't just a good listener, you're good at observation, too. Yes, I am responsible for communications. Though the condition of this equipment is wretched, it would be easier to stay in contact with 2 tin cans and a piece of string. I can't keep track of how often we have power outages or equipment failures these days, but I have really given you enough of my time now. I do have to work out a solution to this issue. If you feel the need to talk to someone, go and try Vito. Innkeepers are known for their chatter.
Where can I find Vito?
Look around out for the rat hole of a dive serving alcohol. There are 2 things Vito lives for: alcohol and conversation. Well, that and the shards to pay for them. I digress. Go now and seek him out and leave me to my thinking.
That was well done.
Yeah, I'm trying to... Just come back later, please.
That was well done.
Greetings from the fiery heart of Magalan. As the god Kalan has protected us from the downfall until this day, so he will always stand with us during difficult times. Kalan offers salvation, protection for all those who give themselves to him. This is me, Herbert, broadcasting from the orbit to bring a warning to all free people out there. Stay safe in the wilderness.
Yes? Is there something urgent? I have a lot to do, as you can imagine. This city does not run itself. So, please excuse me if I'm short with you. This city is made up of a whole mass of confusion. Everyone looking for a new start. No one able to forget their past. They need a leader to hold things together.
You're in charge here?
Well, let's say that I'm the person holding all these threads together. There's no ruler here, we all work together. Everyone here wants something. Whatever you're searching for, it will only add to the list of demands we already face. And providing for the people we already have is a logistical challenge. That means to accommodate everyone we're on strict rations, and those rations have to be earned.
It seems I'm not the only one collecting waifs and strays, setting them on the right path.
You've been helping people. Then maybe you can understand what we have built.
You've done a good thing here.
How long have you been in charge of the Dome City?
I've been in office for 8 years now, and it hasn't been easy. Maintaining a neutral position to the factions while fighting the Albs. By Kalan, there really are more pleasant posts they could have appointed me to.
What if someone wanted to replace you?
Some have tried. Yet I am still here. This city was created by the Great Council of Magalan. They made the clerics custodians of this place and their legacy. The Great Council may be long gone, but what they stood for, a unity of purpose, a future for all of Magalan together, that is something we still believe in here. So, it is our job to remain neutral. It is our job to serve all, no matter their background, however hard our residents make it for us.
Listen, the council is gone. Why care about what they said?
You don't think that was a better time? Laws for prisoner exchange that assured borders, set rules for trade. Even if you don't care about the blood spilled since the council's rule was broken, the clerics swore to a code, and that includes keeping our oaths. And an oath was sworn to the council by my forefathers. That makes it my duty to see that oath is kept.
How are things here in the Dome City?
Tense. The battles out there are always reflected in here. Tensions run high if the outlaws attack the clerics, or the clerics attack the berserkers. And there's always the fear of an alb invasion. Those tensions drive greed, anger, and fear. There is war out there, and here your shards will be stolen from your hand if you aren't careful. It's like the world has gone crazy.
Why have things become so bad?
A whole host of reasons. Maybe it would help you if I tell you how things are. The berserkers have lived more and more reclusively ever since the pilgrim went into his retreat. The outlaws are more organized now the Duke has taken power, and the Alb separatists seek shelter with us to escape the powers in Zakor. All told, very dark signs that we'd face another global catastrophe. And here we are, in the middle.
Is there something I can help you with?
If you want to help, there is something that has to be taken care of quickly. You must have noticed that the mood is very heated here. One more issue, one wobble, and everything we've held together here will fall to pieces. One of my people has reported that the outlaws are expecting a weapons delivery. The last thing that this city needs is more weapons. And who knows who the outlaws will sell them to. I want you to intercept this delivery and bring it to me.
Are you having a lot of trouble here in the city?
Keeping the factions together is always an issue. The outlaws are always up to something, but things have gotten worse, and to cap it all, we've had a sharp rise in thefts. I believe an organized group has started operating here. Not the usual outlaws. This group seems to be outside the factions. From the little I've heard, they're more like a secret society than your regular set of theft-mongers. I've offered a large bounty for any information that leads to their capture. And capture would be best. I want to find out who their connections are. If you can find out more about this secret society, I can make you rich.
About the outlaws' weapons delivery. You've been using informers to try and catch them?
Of course. Information is key to keeping the peace. But there are always things you miss. And missing things leads to nasty surprises. And I'd rather be the one dealing those out than receiving them. Particularly when it comes to outlaws. Are you going to show me that you are the exception?
I'll take care of that problem for you.
Good. Very well then. Your target is a woman. Her name is Paige. Get her talking and hope that she brings you in on her plan. Take these shards. You may need them to buy yourself some trust. You'll have to find Paige yourself. She's a slippery customer, and we've lost track of her.
Contact? Is there something I should know about her?
Apart from the fact that she's one of the outlaws, no. As soon as you get those weapons, or any information, just make sure you bring them to me. Just one more term. Then I can retire.
What? Who's there?
It's about time. What? Who's there? It's about time. Hey, what are you doing? Why are you in here?
You should heal those wounds. You should heal those wounds. You are not permitted. Good. That's the right decision. You should heal those wounds.
Welcome to our audio tour. You will find audio devices located throughout this museum.
What are you doing here? Why are you in here? What are you doing here?
Are you looking for something? You should heal those wounds. You are not permitted to be here. Good. That's the right decision.
You had better go. It's about time.
Move along, civilian. Move along, civilian.
What do we have here? Fresh meat?
You had better not mean that literally.
Go on, growl again. Growl. How did you get the guard to let you into the dome? I'd watch out. They're probably trying to recruit you. You wouldn't be the first to come here looking for shelter only to end up bowing down to Kalan. However you got in, you're going to find it even harder to get out. The clerics are a little jumpy at the moment. You might say paranoid. So when they do let someone in, it does make me wonder who they are and why the clerics thought letting them in was a good idea.
If it's so hard to get in, what are you doing here?
I got in before things got so paranoid. And I came here for profit, of course. Lots of nervous people close to the Alps tend to be willing to invest shards in their safety, you see. And getting hold of supplies is hard out here. So, if you can get them, you can sell them for a high price. Well, that was the plan. Now, the clerics have stopped me trading and cut off all the supplies.
And you just let them do that?
Of course I didn't let them. But getting around their ban isn't simple. It's impossible to get by the guards without an ID card. And they took mine from me as part of their crackdown. Now they say I'm causing trouble. But what else is a businesswoman supposed to do when she has her business taken from her?
About your trade ban.
Yeah, don't tell me. Trading weapons can pose a danger to the community. But this is about self-defense. The only person who can stop a person with a gun is a person with an even bigger gun. Am I right? I mean, what? Are we supposed to throw rocks at the Albs when they attack? But the clerics want to keep all the guns for themselves and screw the rest of us. They call it neutrality, but I say it's oppression.
Sounds like you could use some help.
Yes, I could. Still, let's say he's right, and that I could get a hold of supplies. Not from Tavar, obviously. They've blocked that route. Let's say I could get some weapons from the Separatists, for example. Let's say they have weapons and need shards, and that they also have the business acumen of a stunned troll, so they need a salesperson. Me, for example. What if I was to say that? And what if I was to say that I have to find someone who could enter and leave this city freely? If I was to say that, then what would you say?
Do you really think you can trust the Separatists?
I can't leave without profit. Hell, right now I can't eat without profit. So I need this deal. So if you blab, what have I lost? Nothing. And without any guns to show, it's just your word against mine. And even Alois isn't going to see that as justice.
I could help you get your weapons.
Good. Right. So, this is what you need to do. Leave the city and find a separatist called Radok. I think he's a separatist. But whatever he is, he's a mad fucker. I can't make sense of most of what he says. But he has the weapons, and he likes trade. I think he likes trade. It's hard to tell. He wants to sell the weapons, but you'll have to work on him, okay? He won't just hand them over.
Where can I find Radok?
Up in the Highlands. When we last spoke, he told me he was going to head over to the northeast. He mentioned an abandoned wind turbine. With luck, he'll still be out there.
Alois knows about your weapons delivery. He wants it stopped.
Are you saying he knows I found a way to get some weapons? Where does he keep getting his intelligence from? Still, cat and mouse is what we play, isn't it? So I suppose there's no real change. I need the weapons. He wants to stop me, and so we dance our dance. Better armed is better prepared. You mark my words. Better armed is... You need a break every once in a while if you're going to stay sane. But do you get one?
A bit like that.
Oh yeah?
Hey, have you got a few shards for a veteran?
A couple of shards. Could save us more, if he does know something useful.
Useful? I can be useful.
What do you think? Will you give him something?
There, take this.
Thanks. Thank you. Oh, I won't forget this. And since you have helped me, I'll make sure my contacts hear about it. You help me, I'll help you. Come back in a few days, yeah? I'll have something that might interest you.
Hey, you. I heard you speaking to Eric. He gave you an energy regulator for the dome, right? Give it to me, will you? Very soon now, you're going to need the right sort of friend, and giving that to me will earn you that.
Why do you want the regulator?
Haven't you noticed the tension here? All the anger and the plotting? It scares the hell out of me. So I want a way out of here if things go wrong. A sort of backdoor. I want to modify the regulator so I can drop a section of the dome and get out if things go bad. Let me modify it. Then I'll give it back to you so you can get it to where it needs to be. You've got to see why I'd want a way out, yeah? So do we have a deal?
What's in it for me if I help you?
Profit is profit. I respect that attitude. What do you think about 100 shards?
I won't give you the regulator.
Then you've blown your chance. And don't come back to me and ask for help when no one will let you out of here.